Hello and welcome to Cornish Walking Trails. Today we're in Helford Village.
Paradise private beach.
In our video today we're exploring the idyllic Helford Village with its thatched cottages and beautiful creekside views. In the past it's been lawless with smuggling and pirates, which inspired Daphne Du Maurier to write Frenchman's Creek. We're going to visit Frenchman's Creek on our 3-mile circular walk today.
For our walk today we've parked here. This is the Helford Village long stay car park. It's August 2022 and 3 to 4 hours it's £3.40.
Helford Village is on the south bank of the Helford River. Our walk today is inspired by the official guide to Daphne Du Maurier in Cornwall. Within the book, each of her novels has been dedicated a page and sometimes a walk, which is today's inspiration. Hello everybody.
Hello.
We're in Helford Village today. We're going to walk out to Frenchman's Creek. First, let's take a look around Helford Village, now the home to the rich and famous, but once upon a time
This place was lawless.
full of pirates.
Smugglers.
Let's find out more. So if you take a wander around Helford Village, you'll notice that a lot of the properties, the older ones, are thatched and they look wonderful, don't they?
Beautiful. Even the pub has a thatched roof.
Yeah, they're just everywhere you look. Maybe when these cottages were first built, it wasn't always as picturesque and peaceful.
Ooh, do tell me more.
We have a selection of books today with us. This one is The Book of Cornish Villages by Sheila Baird. And there is a line in her description of Helford which is quite interesting. The quiet, secluded, tree-fringed Helford River was once nicknamed Stealford on account of being much frequented by pirates. Now Richard Carew, he was a kind of person that documented Cornwall in the Tudor period, and he also speaks of pirates being in this area. So I don't know that Daphne Du Maurier was really making up. Perhaps she was inspired by these stories. Who knows? Such a pretty idyllic row of cottages. It's the only word to use in this village is idyllic.
The cottages here are glorious, aren't they? They're beautiful. We've got a Christmas cottage, we've got a Wednesday cottage, and we've got a September cottage.
Curious.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
There's a date on the one up there. It says we've got an 1887.
September 1887.
Yeah.
We're going to leave Helford now, tear ourselves away from this idyllic spot and walk towards Frenchman's Creek. Our instructions are amazingly brief. It just says to get to the start of the walk, take the path from the car park to Castle. We've actually been here before and done this walk, so we kind of know where we're going. But without that knowledge, I think it would be tricky. So that's the sign.
Castle.
Castle Barton.
Public footpath.
Yeah,
on
you
there as
actually
well
want the
to
public
Monacan.
footpath to Monacan, don't you? So our little doggy loves going in streams for a drink, and this walk is ideal because not only is there plenty of places for them to do that, but there's a lot of shade. It's brilliant in the summer months for a doggy.
I like this walk, Sarah.
I do too.
Do you know, as you go along the walk, it feels you are entering somewhere a little bit secretive and somewhere
Yes.
perhaps that you shouldn't be.
Well, not that so much, but a special place, a kind of place where you can be alone and you can do what you like, and maybe you don't know what's around the next corner.
We've done this walk many a time as well, and it's very quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's August. We're in Cornwall.
Newquay, there's a
County is-
traffic jam on the Gannel.
Yeah, the county is busy right now.
Yeah,
It's quiet down here.
it's great.
So Sarah, we have filmed this walk before.
I know.
One of the earlier walks on our channel, and you'll probably leave a link to it at the end of this video.
Possibly, if it's not too cringe.
But there was some terrible acting by me in it.
Yeah. On guard. On guard.
I won't do that today, okay?
Oh, all right
It
then.
just makes me look stupid.
What is that?
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
So camp.
Really? Wasn't the look I was going for, really.
No.
Not swashbuckling then.
No, it wasn't really.
I didn't buckle your swash. I didn't do that. You definitely won't be putting that clip in then.
Oh, it's already been in.
Oh, is it?
Did you enjoy it?
I must admit, I think I'm looking very young in it. Very youthful.
So here we are. We're at the junction in the path that takes us down to Frenchman's Creek proper. The creek at the top will be a little bit muddy today. We were hoping to time it that it'd be flooded, but it wasn't to be. The weather's been so hot that we're just grabbing every opportunity that we can to get out and about and film, really. It's been too hot recently. So looking at our book, it's a wealth of information about Daphne Du Maurier, and it says Frenchman's Creek is significant on the Du Maurier Trail as it is a tributary of the Helford River where Daphne and Tommy spent their first night of their honeymoon. Today it is totally unspoiled and remains almost as if it was on the first romantic night in 1931 when Daphne and her new husband anchored up in that remote and peaceful location. It's actually got a picture in here of the cottage they stayed in. So this book is quite old, and I did notice that in the back you've got accommodation, where to stay, and here Frenchman's Creek gives you a telephone number and that's it.
Okay.
No Airbnb.
before the internet, do you think?
How things have changed, doesn't it? So yeah. Daphne Du Maurier and Tommy were married in Lanteglos Church up near Foy. Do you remember that walk?
We did, yes. Atlantic Bay walk, wasn't it?
Yes.
Started at Pole Ruin, if I remember rightly.
For some reason you were trying to carry my head, but I can't remember why. If you want to find out, you need to watch the video. We'll put a link at the end. You've just got it. You've just got it, haven't you?
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah.
Have you read Frenchman's Creek?
No.
Oh, you're missing out on something. It is a romantic story. It is about a bored socialite that leaves London on a bit of a whim. She's fed up with her husband and decides to come to his house in Cornwall that she's never visited before.
Right.
And in the creek she discovers a pirate ship.
All right.
And the story's brilliant from that.
Okay.
And if you haven't read it, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's well worth a read. The first chapter in Frenchman's Creek is written from a modern perspective, as if it was a contemporary with Daphne Du Maurier, and she describes a yachtsman coming up Helford and maybe anchoring and then finding this creek. And she describes it like this: being a stranger, the yachtsman looks back over his shoulder to the safe yacht in the roadstead and to the broad waters of the river, and he pauses, resting on his paddles, aware suddenly of the deep silence of the creek, of its narrow twisting channel, and he feels for no reason known to him that he is an interloper, a trespasser in time. He ventures a little way along the left bank of the creek, the sound of the blades upon the water seeming over loud and echoing oddly amongst the trees on the farther bank. And as he creeps forward, the creek narrows, the trees crowd yet more thickly to the water's edge, and he feels a spell upon him, fascinating, strange, a thing of queer excitement not fully understood.
Do you feel like an interloper?
I do. Do you feel as if it's enchanted?
I do.
Strange, isn't it? It's wonderful how writing can make you feel and see something differently.
So just before we finish this segment about Frenchman's Creek and Daphne Du Maurier's novel,
Yeah.
I've got two questions.
What's that then?
So one is that the heroine in it is called Donna, Lady St Cullum,
Yes.
which I quite like.
Yes.
Yeah. But why St Cullum?
I've no idea.
But St Cullum is a little village just outside of Newquay, isn't it? So that's probably why she chose it. And the other thing I thought was interesting was the name Frenchman's Creek. Now I assumed it was to do with a novel, but it's not, so it must predate back by a long time. And how did it get called Frenchman's Creek? Maybe something to do with smuggling or pirates, maybe?
Possibly.
No, put it in the comments.
I don't know. He is alone, and yet can that be a whisper in the shallows close to the bank? And does a figure stand there, the moonlight glinting upon his buckled shoes and the cutlass in his hand? And is that a woman by his side, a cloak around her shoulders, her dark ringlets drawn back behind her ears? He is wrong, of course. Guess what I found?
What have you found?
It's the tree.
The tree?
Follow me.
Ooh, intriguing. But that tree is just in the water, so it's dead.
I know. Kylie Minogue, about 10 years ago, she filmed a video here for one of her songs. It wasn't a huge hit, it was called Flower, and part of the video is actually filmed with her on her back on that tree.
You know what that means?
What?
You need to recreate that shot.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I thought
the
you
shot
were
from
going
the
to do
video.
it.
I ain't doing it.
We'll toss for it. Heads or tails?
Tails. Heads.
So I'm doing it, am I?
Yeah. Come on, Kylie.
I have no Kylie.
I should be so lucky.
I don't fancy this. I hope this holly tree is okay. It's stuck. Okay. I think she was here.
I think she's a bit further up.
No. So she was like this, wasn't she?
That's it.
Do you know how silly I feel?
Should be a thumbnail.
Well, like this. I think that's one of the weirdest things I have ever done. Go and lie on a log. I've got to get back here now. How on earth? I mean, if she had a crew with her, she'd say, cut down that holly tree, wouldn't she? Cut down this holly tree. Ooh! The things we do for CWT. Oh, well, that was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Hello, boy! Yes! We did it, we did it.
How would I feel if I told you that was the wrong tree?
Well, I'm kind of thinking now that she was probably further up, but looking at the tree is somewhat decayed. I'm not going further up, it'll collapse.
If I try and recreate that,
Yeah.
you take some different shots. If you like spin around the tree.
Ah.
Na, 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 na. I'm only doing this especially for you.
Did you enjoy that?
Na 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 no na 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 na.
The things we do for this channel is...
I can't get that out of my head. Okay. Are you doing the locomotion?
Do the locomotion. I shan't forget today in Carew.
No. You look very comfortable up there for a while.
It was actually, it was quite nice and warm, it's quite soft.
It's quite smooth as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder how many other people have done that then.
Quite a few, I reckon.
Now the reason we found out about that, there was a river cruise that we went on recently with Helford River Cruises, and the boatman Roger showed us a photo, so we thought we'd try and recreate it.
Marching out from it, and you see the footsteps down here. If I see the picture of her lying across the top of it, yeah, lying on the back with her hands in the air.
If you want to see Frenchman's Creek from the water, it's the ideal way to do it as well, isn't it? You get a real good understanding of the creek here by doing that.
Should we run some clips?
I think we should.
Here we go. Must just say thank you to Tom and Hetty from Helford River Cruises that gifted us that cruise. We've just crested the headland and we're dropping back down again, and we're heading towards a little cove called Penarvan Cove. We're looking for something particular now. Aren't quite sure where it is, are we?
Seen it from the river.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure how to get to
the
it.
River.
So if we can find it, we'll show you.
Yeah.
We'll keep the suspense going for a moment or two.
Bit of a wild goose chase maybe.
Sarah, our walk takes us that way.
Uh-huh.
Before we go that way, I'm going to take you down here to where I think this secretive thing is. I think we need to go up here.
Fine, okay. Penguedon Woodland Walk.
Sarah, we are looking for a tiny chapel.
In a woodland?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be very secretive and hidden.
How are we going to find it?
I don't know, I think it's on this path somewhere though. It's very close to the water's edge.
Okay. 10 minutes later.
Yeah, we don't really know where this is. So, I saw it from the water that day we were on the riverboat cruise, but we'd actually gone by it when when Roger started talking about it, and then it was a bit too far away and I couldn't film it. But I can see it.
Oh, where?
I can see it. Can you see it?
Yes!
Yeah! I can see it.
Come on. Yes, there. Oh.
Very small, apparently.
Yes. So it's a chapel dedicated to St. Francis, and he's the patron saint of animals, isn't he?
It is.
So you just need to know that as context for what we're about to see, isn't it?
What exciting.
Yes. Oh, it's so cute. Okay.
You ready?
This better be worth it. Oh my goodness, it's so narrow. Hang on. Oh wow. Oh my goodness me, that is spooky.
Look at that.
Gosh, that is quite lifelike, isn't it?
It's incredible, isn't it? Look at that.
So he's got like a hare on his lap, hasn't he? Is that meant to be a wolf?
And he's got a crow up by his head as well.
It's a dog, isn't it?
I don't know if it's a dog or a wolf.
This is a hare. Oh, and look. Frog and a toad.
Oh gosh.
And a worm.
Oh, the more you look, the more you see, isn't it?
It's one of those, isn't it? Keeps on giving. Oh, yes, look. You can't see it from there. Come around here.
Oh, is that a cockerel?
Yes. I wonder if there's something on the other side.
Some birds here.
Yeah. A visitor book here. To the greater glory of God and in the honour of St. Francis, this shrine was blessed by Walter Frere, Bishop of Truro, on the 11th of August 1933 in memory of Leo and Neil.
Ah, that explains the plaque on the wall, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is that one there?
Oh, there's loads of them. Oh, there's a pen!
Aww.
Ahoy! Ahoy up there!
Hello.
It's kind of steep.
By boat, this is how you get up to the
Oh, I
temple.
see.
Yeah.
So you can do it at high tide when you've got a boat or a little dinghy, or you can put it on the beach here. What an extraordinary place to end up. So some really steep steps down to the creek side. So that's going to be Port Navis. And look at that fantastic boathouse. All the way down the river, past Durgan and out to the estuary. Oh, fabulous view. Hello, Daisy. Say, we've still got you, haven't we? Yes, hello, gorgeous. Hello, my gorgeous. Turn around then. Let's get back now. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Come on.
A different book.
Yes, this is our copy of Cornish Harbours by Roland Roddice. So when he went around Cornwall, he summarised his adventures and put them down as a book. And he visited Helford. And he says, the town of Helford lies on the southern bank of the river, almost opposite the ferryboat inn. It's a pleasant, picturesque little place with a very ancient harbour, which is silted up badly, but is still a good enough anchorage for sailing boats. Today it seems as though nothing could possibly disturb the slow, even pulsation of its sleepy life. But a few centuries ago it was evidently notorious for its activity, as our Elizabethan friend Richard Carew tells us. Helford, he writes, so called of the formidable river Hale, is elsewhere placed, would carry the reputation of a good harbour, but as it now standeth, Falmouth's over-near neighbourhood lesseneth his use, and darkeneth his reputation, as quitting it only to the worst sort of seafarers, I mean pirates, whose guilty breasts, with an eye over their backs, look warily how they may go, ere they will adventure to enter his more common term of Helford, and the nickname of Stealford. So there's piracy going on here, and it's recorded by Richard Carew as a place that you look over your back when you're coming down here in case a pirate steals everything from you. So Andrew, what catches people out about our quirky ferry system?
How do you call for a taxi?
Mobile phone?
Yeah, how do you call for a ferry?
A big red yellow disc.
Yeah, that's it, there we are.
Yeah, we won't open it because obviously you'll start coming over, but you just unhitch the disc and then it goes yellow and he can see it then.
It says the ferry operates on a request basis, therefore please open this sign to call the ferry. When the ferry approaches, please close this sign ready for the next passengers.
Yeah. It's
It
very
must be over
technical,
there,
isn't
just
it?
looking all the time.
Yeah, it's binoculars. So the ferry crosses from here to Helford Passage, which is just across the river with a ferry boat in.
Some paying passengers.
Yeah, they're hailing the ferry.
Which means that the lollipop
It's open.
is now yellow.
Yeah.
And finally, a story about smuggling on the Helford River.
So the little hamlet of Treath is over there, and the cream-coloured building used to be the customs house. In 1840 a vessel was seized called the Teignmouth, and she had kegs of brandy dangling over the side, 133 of them. She came within sight of shore. It was manned by smugglers, and they approached two guys on the foreshore to say, "Can you help us bring all this in?" which they willingly did. Unknown to the smugglers, they were customs officers, and after all of the bounty was brought ashore, they arrested them, their ship, and the brandy. It ended up over there in the customs house. So the smugglers weren't very happy about this, and a gang came in the middle of the night. They broke down the doors and they got back all but 3 kegs of brandy. Though the reason they got away with this, because it was sighted so far from the village, the people that were there to man the customs house didn't raise an alarm because they knew nobody would hear them, so they just let them get away with it. Who was the twit that put a customs house so far away from civilization?
I love that story, innit? Here, mate, can you help? Get all my brandy and stuff in.
This place has just been lawless from start to finish.
It's the stories of smugglers and pirates.
Yeah,
wow.
Lawless Helford.
A lovely walk today. Helford Village is absolutely glorious. Who would have thought that in years gone by it was home to smugglers and pirates?
Amazing. I've really enjoyed this walk. It is one of my favourites in Cornwall. I love the Daphne Du Maurier. I love the pirates. From lawless to idyllic. What more could you want?
You need to come and do this walk. It's brilliant. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye. If you've enjoyed today's video, remember, give us a thumbs up, send us a comment, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I don't know when this video is going out, but we've got nearly 15,000 subscribers now on YouTube, which is amazing. Let's see if we can get it to 20,000.